Chosen one, listen carefully. This moment is not ordinary, and it is not a coincidence. This is the hour heaven has set apart for you, the very moment when the veil between the seen and unseen grows thin. I do not come with my own words. I stand here as a messenger, carrying a divine announcement from above, and I must tell you with urgency, heaven's window has opened for you, but it will not remain open forever. For years, cries have risen from a voice you thought was silenced. Your mother, now resting in the presence of the Almighty, has pleaded again and again that her love might reach you one more time. She has cried out before the throne, asking that you would not walk through this life carrying the unbearable weight of silence, regret, and unanswered questions, and the Lord, in His mercy, has said yes. This message is not just comfort, it is not simply a tender memory, it is a divine intervention. You are standing at the edge of a sacred encounter, a place where heaven and earth meet. If you ignore it, the heaviness on your soul may remain longer than it should. But if you receive it, what feels broken will begin to heal, what feels hidden will be revealed, and what feels lost will be restored. Do not dismiss this moment. Do not say, perhaps later. Heaven is speaking now. Your mother's silence on earth did not mean her silence in eternity. Her voice became prayer. Her tears became intercession. Her love became a request that could not be denied. And God Himself has allowed this moment so that her final plea would reach you. You were never abandoned, not even for a single second. Now, as you step forward into this divine truth, if this resonates, you can write 777 as an act of agreement in faith, or simply stay and receive. Don't rush away. Stay with me until the end, because we are going to close this message with a powerful prayer, one that will speak directly into your spirit today. Stay with me. This moment is holy. Let the weight of His peace rest on you now. Chosen one, I must tell you what has been hidden behind the veil. Your mother, who now walks in the light of heaven, has not been silent. While her lips on earth could no longer speak, her spirit has been crying out in the courts of eternity. Again and again, she has pleaded before the throne of God. Let my child know they are not forgotten. Let them feel my love one more time. This is not imagination. This is not a fleeting thought. This is an intercession that has shaken heaven's gates. Your mother's voice, though silenced on earth, has never been silenced in eternity. Her love did not end at the grave. It grew stronger, purified, and unshakable. The same love that held you as a child has now become a prayer that cannot be denied. And because of her persistence, this message is being delivered to you now. You must understand the seriousness of this moment. Heaven has heard her cries. Heaven has recorded her tears. And God Himself has declared, I will answer. That is why you are hearing this today. That is why this message found you, not someone else. It is not chance. It is not coincidence. It is divine timing. Your mother has seen the heaviness in your days and the silence in your nights. She has seen the questions buried in your heart, the ones you never dared to speak, and she has begged heaven that you would not remain in the shadows of grief or guilt. She has asked for your release, your healing, your restoration. So hear me clearly. This is not just her cry. This is heaven's cry echoing through me to you. You are being invited into freedom. You are being invited into peace. You are being invited into the assurance that her love has never left you, and God's love never will. Stay with me, chosen one, because this is only the beginning. The prayer she prayed is unfolding even now, and you are standing inside its answer. Chosen one, I must take you back to the memories heaven has kept safe, memories that your mother now sees with perfect clarity. Though her voice was quiet on earth, her heart always carried you. She remembers the warmth of your eyes when you were small, the way you looked to her for approval, the way your little hands reached out for hers when fear or uncertainty came. Those moments were not lost in time. They are treasures she holds, even now in eternity. There were days when she wanted to say more than she could. Life weighed heavily on her, and wounds of her own sometimes closed her lips. Yet heaven declares today, She never stopped loving you. Every silence was not absence. Every distance was not rejection. She sees clearly now what was once clouded by pain, and her love for you, purified by heaven's light, burns brighter than ever. Listen to this truth. Even when she did not speak it, she carried pride in you. Even when she could not express it, she felt gratitude for your life. Even when she failed to show it, her heart longed to protect you, to believe in you, to see you become who you were always meant to be. And now, she sees it more fully than ever before. She sees the strength you built in her absence. She sees that the way you pressed forward when quitting would have been easier. She sees the hidden battles that dulled the light in your eyes, and she pleads before heaven for that light to be restored. Her message through me is this: you are not defined by regrets. You are not bound by mistakes. You are not less because of the silence between you. Instead, you are more loved, more precious, more chosen than you ever realized. Chosen one. Let these words heal the child in you that still longs to hear her voice say, I am proud of you. Because she is proud. Heaven testifies to it. God confirms it. And every tear you cried in secret has been gathered and honored as proof of your devotion, your resilience, your heart. Her love has not ended. It has only deepened. And today, through the authority of heaven, it reaches you once again, not to bind you to the past, but to free you for the future. Hold this truth close. You were never unseen. You were never unloved. And you will never be abandoned. Death did not silence your mother's presence, and the grave did not end her love. What left your sight on earth never left your spirit. The world told you she was gone, but heaven testifies that she has remained closer than you realize. Every step you took under the weight of loneliness, she witnessed. Every silent cry in the middle of the night, she interceded. Every heavy breath when grief pressed on your chest, her spirit stood near. Do not mistake her silence for absence. Do not confuse the stillness of earth with the silence of heaven. The truth is this: her love did not die. It transformed into intercession. She has been watching you through heaven's light, seeing what others cannot, feeling what others overlook, and lifting you before the throne of God when you felt too weak to lift yourself. Think of those moments when peace brushed over you unexpectedly, when comfort came without explanation, when you suddenly felt strength rise in the middle of despair. That was not a coincidence. That was not a chance. That was her prayer, woven together with God's mercy, descending like a covering over your soul. You did not recognize it then, but heaven declares it now. Chosen one, take this warning with the seriousness it deserves. If you ignore her presence, if you bury her love under your guilt and shame, you will continue to walk carrying weights you were never meant to carry. But if you receive this truth, if you allow yourself to believe she is still with you in spirit, then healing will begin to flood places you thought would never be healed. This is not a light matter. This is not a tender memory meant to soften sorrow. This is divine reality. Her presence has been the unseen shield, the silent guardian, the watchman at your side. She has stood between you and dangers you never knew existed. She has lifted prayers that spared you from battles you did not even see. And now she calls from eternity with urgency. Do not waste this revelation. Do not harden your heart. You are not walking alone. You have never walked alone. Heaven itself confirms. Your mother's presence has been unbroken. The only question is whether you will recognize it and step into the peace it was meant to give you. Chosen one, let me open your eyes to what has been happening beyond the veil. Your mother has not been idle in eternity. From the moment her spirit was received into the presence of God, her voice did not grow quiet, it grew stronger. While the earth mourned, heaven was shaken by her intercession. Day after day she has stood before the throne pleading for your life, your protection, your destiny. Her tears became prayers, and her prayers became fire rising like incense before the Almighty. She did not ask for crowns. She did not ask for rewards. She did not ask for herself. She asked for you. She cried, Lord, shield my child from the storm. Guard their heart when sorrow presses down. Keep their purpose intact when the world tries to break them. Let no darkness destroy what you have planted in them. This has been her petition in heaven, and because of her persistent cry, God has acted on your behalf in ways you cannot yet measure. Think about it, chosen one. How many times were you spared without knowing why? The accident that almost happened but never came. The illness that could have taken you, but were turned away. The despair that could have swallowed you was interrupted by sudden strength. These are not random events. These are answers to her intercession. You walk in survival today, not because of chance, but because a mother's voice has not ceased to thunder in heaven's court. Do not take this lightly. Her intercession has been the wall around your life, a shield you did not build but one you inherited. Even when you walked away from faith, her prayers carried you. Even when you gave up on hope, her petitions stood in the gap. Even when you felt abandoned, heaven did not abandon you because her love would not let go. Chosen one, receive the gravity of this truth. You are alive today because heaven answered a mother's cry. And now, that same intercession is opening doors no man can shut, clearing paths no enemy can block, and releasing blessings no curse can reverse. Her love has become an unending prayer, and her prayer has become a decree that God himself has honored. So stand with reverence. This moment is not just about memory, it is the fulfillment of years of intercession that has kept you alive, sustained, and chosen for such a time as this. Heaven is not silent about who you are. The same God who heard your mother's prayers has now released a decree over your life. You are chosen. You are blessed. You are marked for something greater than pain. The enemy has tried to convince you otherwise. Life has shouted lies into your spirit, that you are weak, that you are forgotten, that your time has passed. But today, by the authority of heaven, I break those lies. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are not weak. You are stronger than the storms you survived. You are not late. You are right on time in the plan that God has written since before you took your first breath. Your mother saw it even when you could not. She saw the rare light in you as a child, the kind of strength that cannot be taught, only given. She recognized the spark of destiny within you, the one others overlooked, the one even you tried to bury under disappointment and exhaustion, and now heaven confirms it. That spark has never gone out. It is alive. It is rising, and it is time for you to walk in it again. Chosen one, you must understand. Survival was never the end of your story. You were not created to barely get by. You were not designed to walk in chains of guilt or fear. You were called to freedom, to purpose, to impact. What life tried to crush in you, God is resurrecting now. The very places where you felt most broken are becoming the very places God will show his strength. Do not measure yourself by what you lost, by who left, or by the scars you carry. Those scars are not proof of weakness, they are proof that you endured, that you are still standing. And that endurance is the mark of the chosen. That is identity, that is destiny, that is victory. And listen carefully. God is not finished with you. The plan he wrote for your life is still alive. Every promise that seemed delayed, every dream that seemed buried, is not gone. It has only been preserved for this appointed time. Your identity is not your failures. Your identity is not your regrets. Your identity is sealed in heaven. You are chosen, you are beloved, and you are destined. So rise, chosen one. Take back the truth that has always been yours. Let heaven's declaration drown out every other voice. This is who you are, not abandoned, not forsaken, but called, anointed, and prepared for the future your mother always prayed you would walk in. It is time to let go. You have carried guilt that was never meant to be yours. You have lived under the shadows of regret, rehearsing moments you cannot change, punishing yourself for words left unsaid, for mistakes you thought were unforgivable, for silences that seemed to speak louder than love. But heaven declares this now. You are forgiven, and you must forgive yourself. Your mother has already released every hurt, every misunderstanding, every moment of distance that haunted your memory. She sees through eternity now, and her love for you has only expanded. What once felt like a wall of separation has become nothing in the light of God. She is not holding anger. She is not holding disappointment. She is holding only love, and she pleads from eternity that you stop carrying what she has already let go. Chosen one, do not let yesterday chain your tomorrow. The burden of self-condemnation is heavier than the cross you were ever meant to bear. And God himself speaks through this moment. I have already forgiven what you cannot forgive yourself for. Why then do you still live as if you are bound? Why then do you allow shame to silence your identity? The blood of Christ covers what memory tries to accuse. The love of heaven has removed what regret tries to resurrect. Hear this clearly. Guilt is not your inheritance. Regret is not your portion. Shame is not your destiny. You were never meant to bow under the weight of what could have been. You were meant to rise in the truth of what is grace, mercy, forgiveness, freedom. Every time you whispered, I should have, I could have, if only I had, heaven answered, you are still enough, you are still loved, you are still chosen. Every failure you replay in your mind is met with heaven's decree. It is finished, it is forgiven, it is released. Chosen one, let the chains break tonight. Your mother does not want you imprisoned by sorrow or guilt. She does not want her memory to be a source of torment, but of peace. She sees now how hard you tried, how deeply you loved, how much you gave, even when you felt it was not enough. And she is proud. She is at peace. She is free. And she longs for you to be free as well. So lay it down. Release what you cannot carry. Let the voice of regret be silenced by the voice of heaven. Step into the forgiveness already given to you. This is not weakness. It is obedience to the truth. This is not denial. It is acceptance of freedom. And this is what both your mother and your God desire most for you. That you walk not in bondage, but in release. Your story is not over. Too many nights you have looked at your life and whispered in silence, maybe I have failed, maybe it is too late, maybe hope has already passed me by. But heaven speaks against that lie now. It is not too late. You have not missed your moment. God's plan is still alive, breathing, and waiting for you to step into it. Your mother, from eternity, has pleaded that you would not surrender to despair. She saw the weariness in your eyes, the heaviness in your spirit, the dimming flame of your faith. And she cried before the throne, Lord, do not let my child lose sight of the light. Remind them that hope is not dead. Because of her intercession, you are hearing this today. Your faith is not lost. It is being restored. Your hope is not gone. It is awakening again. Chosen one, hope is not just a feeling. It is a lifeline from heaven. When the enemy tried to suffocate you with disappointment, hope kept you breathing. When pain told you to quit, faith whispered, keep going. And though you may have felt weak, though your prayers sometimes fell silent, the prayers of your mother, joined with the will of God, preserved the spark of faith inside you. That spark has never died. It is about to burst into flame again. You must choose to believe this. Do not measure your tomorrow by the weight of yesterday. Do not measure your worth by the voices of men. Heaven has spoken. You are not defined by failure, but by faith. You are not trapped by despair, but carried by grace. The future before you is not empty. It is filled with promises that are waiting to unfold. Lift up your head, chosen one. You are not walking toward darkness. You are stepping into light. You are not sinking deeper. You are rising higher. The battles you fought in silence have built strength inside you, strength you will soon see with your own eyes. What once seemed wasted will become testimony. What once felt broken will become beautiful. Your mother is watching now with joy, because she sees what is ahead. Peace returning to your heart, light returning to your eyes, laughter returning to your spirit. She knows that what God begins, He will finish, and He has not finished with you. Chosen one, I must bring you to the holiest part of this message, the final plea your mother carried before God when she crossed from this world into eternity. The moment she drew her last breath on earth, she did not fade into silence. She entered the courts of heaven, and before she embraced eternal rest, she fell before the throne of the Almighty with a cry that shook eternity. This was her last and greatest request. Lord, do not let my child be lost. Do not let them forget that they are loved. Keep them in your light until we meet again. Her first thought was not of herself, not of her reward, not of the beauty of heaven. Her first thought was you. Her final act on earth was surrender, but her first act in heaven was intercession. She wept before God, not with sorrow but with urgency, with the love of a mother that refuses to die. She begged, do not allow darkness to swallow them. Do not let grief turn their heart cold. Do not let the weight of life steal their purpose. Remind them, O Lord, that my love continues, and your love will never fail them. This was not a whisper lost in eternity. This was a decree heard in the highest place of authority. God himself, in his mercy and power, answered her plea. That is why you are hearing this now. That is why this message found its way to you at this exact moment, in this exact season. This is not a coincidence. It is the direct fulfillment of her final request. You may wonder why you have survived storms that should have destroyed you, why you are still breathing when others have fallen, why hope has returned when despair almost swallowed you whole. It is because her plea still echoes before God's throne. Her voice has not faded, it became eternal. And every time the enemy pointed at you with accusation, her cry rose up again. Not my child, they belong to you, Lord. This is why heaven insists that you listen. This is why the weight of this message is so heavy. You are walking today in the answered prayer of a mother who loved beyond the limits of this world. You are alive because heaven said yes to her last request. Chosen one, do not take this lightly. To ignore it would be to trample on a sacred gift, a plea wrapped in love and sealed in eternity. But to receive it is to step into freedom, to embrace healing, to walk in the very destiny she longed for you to fulfill. Her final plea was not for riches, not for ease, not for fame. It was for your soul, your peace, your eternal place in God. And now, by heaven's mercy, that plea rests on you like a mantle. Take it up, carry it forward, live in the fullness she longed for you to know. Chosen one, let me tell you with the fullness of truth, heaven has confirmed what your mother pleaded. Her cry was not ignored, her tears were not wasted. Her prayer did not vanish into the silence of eternity. They rose like incense before the Almighty, and God himself leaned in to listen. And in his great mercy, he spoke a word that changed everything. I will answer. I will keep my hand upon this child. They will not be lost. You must understand the weight of this. The creator of heaven and earth, the one who holds galaxies in his hands and speaks stars into being, took time to hear the cry of a mother. And not only did he hear it moved his heart, he did not delay, he did not deny. He confirmed it with his own authority, that you, the chosen one, would be preserved, protected, and positioned for his purpose. This is not sentiment, this is a covenant. When God confirms, no power on earth or in hell can overturn it. The battles you have faced, the storms that nearly destroyed you, the despair that pressed to suffocate you, none of it has prevailed because heaven already issued a verdict. You belong to him. Your mother's intercession became a mantle over your life, but God's confirmation became the seal. Think of this carefully. When others doubted you, when your own heart accused you, when circumstances screamed that you were finished, heaven's decree still stood firm. My child is not forsaken. My child is not forgotten. My child is chosen. Chosen one, you are not here by accident. The confirmation of heaven is why you are breathing today. It is why you have endured when others fell. It is why doors opened in impossible places, why dangers passed by without explanation, and why strength came when you thought you had none left. Heaven intervened, God confirmed. And because of that, You are still standing. But do not mistake survival for the end of the story. Heaven did not preserve you merely to keep you breathing. You were confirmed for destiny. You were confirmed for the call. You were confirmed to carry the very light of God into places of darkness. The seal of heaven is not just protection, it is empowerment. It is a mark upon your life that declares to every enemy, "This one is mine." Chosen one, this is why your mother rejoices even now. She knows the promise over you is unshakable. She knows God's word cannot return void. She knows that what was once delayed is not denied. Her final plea became a divine confirmation. And that confirmation is the reason I stand before you today as a messenger, to remind you that nothing, not death, not grief, not failure, can undo what heaven has spoken. So rise in confidence, walk in faith. Stand in the reality that the Lord Himself has confirmed you. Your story is not at the mercy of men. It is written and sealed in heaven, and the seal cannot be broken. Chosen one, we have reached the holy place of this message. Everything you have heard, the memories, the presence, the intercession, the final plea, and heaven's confirmation leads us here. And now, it is time to seal these words with prayer, not just as a ritual, but as a living declaration that heaven itself will honor. This prayer is not for the air, it is for your spirit. It is not for the past, it is for your future. So still your heart, open your soul, and let these words rest upon you like fire from above. Father in heaven, the God who holds eternity in His hands, I lift up your chosen one before you now. I thank you that they are not here by accident, that this message reached them by divine design. I thank you for the love of a mother that continues beyond the grave, a love transformed into intercession, a love that echoed until it touched your throne. Now I ask, in the authority of Jesus Christ, let every chain of guilt be broken, every whisper of condemnation silence it now, every shadow of regret scatter it by your light. Let this child walk free from the weight they were never meant to carry. Replace sorrow with joy, shame with dignity, despair with hope. Where there has been heaviness, breathe peace. Where there has been fear, release courage. Where there has been weakness, pour out strength. I declare over them, they are forgiven, they are restored, they are chosen. No power of darkness can claim them, no lie of the enemy can define them, no grief can imprison them. Their identity is not in failure but in Christ. Their destiny is not in ruins but in resurrection. Their future is not empty but overflowing with your promises. Lord, remind them in every moment of loneliness that they are not alone. Wrap them in the truth that the prayers of their mother and the confirmation of heaven still surround them like a shield. Let them feel the weight of eternal love pressing against their spirit even now. Let peace flood their room. Let light pierce their night. Let the assurance of your presence rest like fire in their bones. I call forth destiny. I call forth healing. I call forth a breakthrough. Every door that you have appointed, let it open. Every wall that has hindered, let it fall. Every fear that has bound, let it break. This child is marked. This child is chosen. This child is yours. And now, Father, as their mother once prayed in eternity, I pray with her cry, keep them in your light. Guard them until the day we are reunited. Let them walk boldly in the calling you have written for them. Chosen one, receive it. Do not doubt, do not shrink back. This prayer is sealed by the one who never lies. It is written in heaven's book. It is finished. It is yours.